The first step is to connect the oven to a Wi-Fi network. Once the connection has been made, we must access the Connecty.Cloud section. Now we must scan the code or copy the link provided on the oven screen to access the cloud platform, and link the device to our account. By accessing the link provided by the oven screen, we will access the cloud. We will have to select the type of association. Owner user. This is the primary user and has control and responsibility for other users who have access to their devices through Connecty.Cloud. Only one owner user per device can be established, and she will be the only one who can remotely authorize other users to access the device or revoke such authorization. Guest user is the access mode provided for the execution of maintenance or support tasks on the device. You have access to the same functionalities available to the owner user, except that you are not authorized to invite new users or delete existing users. In order to access all the functions offered by the cloud system of the ST Fast Ovens, you must create an account on the Connecty.Cloud platform. We will have to insert a username, an email account, and a password in order to create our account. Now we will have to read and accept the terms and conditions and the privacy policy before confirming the data. Finally, we will have to open the email account that we have associated to the account and click on Confirm the account. To log into the account, we will have to insert the username established when creating the account and the password. By default, the equipment list screen will appear, where all the ST Fast furnaces associated to the account will be displayed. In the side menu of the cloud, we will be able to navigate through different sections and options that we will explain as follows. Devices bookmarked. The devices sorted in favorite lists will be displayed. Devices. The devices associated to the account. The map with the location of each device, and the management of favorite devices will appear. List of cookbooks. The lists of recipes created in the cloud will appear with the possibility of sending them to the computers associated with the account. Options specific to the selected model. This tab will appear when selecting a device associated to the account and will allow access to specific information and configuration of the device. Clicking on Marked Devices will display the lists of favorite devices that we have created. We will be able to click on each list and display the menu where all the equipment classified in them will appear, allowing quick access to the configuration of the furnaces. Clicking on Devices will display the submenus, lists, maps, and manage favorite devices. The submenu list provides information on all ovens associated with the account. The map submenu represents the geolocation of each of the ovens associated to the account. It is especially useful for scheduling maintenance cycles. The submenu Manage Favorite Devices allows you to create a group of ovens and manage it according to the user's needs. To create a group, we must give a name to it, and click on Create Group. In Modify Group, we can add equipment to the list. In Order Device Groups, we can set the order in which the groups will appear in the side submenu of marked devices. In Delete Group, we will be able to delete groups of equipment that we have created. In the Cookbook List menu, the lists of recipes created by the user will appear. These lists are associated to the user and not to the equipment. By clicking on the cookbooks, you can access the list of recipes and add, modify, or delete recipes. Clicking on the new cookbook will create a new cookbook that will be associated with the user's new account. We will have to name the new cookbook and select the compatibility group. Then click on Save Cookbook. To edit the created cookbook, go back to the Cookbook List menu and select the created cookbook. By clicking on New Recipe, we can add and configure a new recipe. In the Recipe Configuration menu, we can give a name to the recipe. Write a recipe description. Categorize the recipe in one of the 6 available categories, or set a recipe image or icon. Now we will have to select the parameters for cooking a recipe. Cooking mode, cooking temperature, fan speed, cooking time, and microwave power. We can also add cooking phases, and we will be able to add messages at the beginning of each phase that will appear on the oven screen as a notification as an instruction. Now click on Save Recipe to save the recipe in the selected list. In the recipe list menu you can also send the recipes to other cookbooks, export the selected recipes, import recipes to the cookbook from any device associated to the account. To delete recipes, click on the delete icon. Finally, we will be able to send the created cookbooks to the ovens that are associated to the account. Selecting a specific piece of equipment will display a menu with a series of submenus that we will explain below. Machine Details menu. In this menu we will have a series of basic data of the equipment as serial number or firmware installed, oven connection status, last update performed, oven alarms, or statistics and graphs related to the consumption and use of the oven. There is also a section to send messages in real time to the ST Fast Oven screen. These messages will appear as a notification on the oven screen. Finally, we have other data such as the current oven mode, recipe in progress or set point temperature. In the Machine Data menu we can enter a description and an address of the location of the oven. In the HACCP log menu you can access the HACCP log of the oven and download it if necessary without having to be near the device to do so via a storage device USB. In the Measurements menu, each parameterized measurement of the oven can be displayed in real time. In addition, a graph of each measurement can be displayed by clicking on the corresponding icon. These measurements are also classified to help us locate them more easily. In the Settings menu we can access a description of the machine parameters that are accessible to the end user. In the Alarms menu we can access the current alarm list and a history of alarms of the equipment. In the Graphs menu you can view the different graphs available for monitoring consumption, usage and other data of interest. The possibility of customization of any trend is also allowed. In the Firmware and File menu we can display the firmware version and the languages installed in the oven. It is also possible to perform a remote update of the software file. The Recipe List menu of the machine contains the programs loaded in the appliance that have been previously loaded by the user in the oven. It is possible to create, adjust or delete recipes in this section, always bearing in mind that the factory default recipes are not configurable. In the Alerts configuration menu you can configure an email address to which you can send notifications of events or alarms that occur in the unit. We will be able to enable the sending of the alert, modify the conditions of the alert or delete the alert. In the Activity Log menu there is a detailed history of the last operations and events that have taken place in the device. This data can be exported by sending it to an email address. Finally, in the Advanced Settings menu you can access advanced settings by entering the device code.